Sometimes the pictures tell the entire story. This is the scene in southern Japan right now. Roads ripped apart, buildings turned to rubble, flattened like pancakes. Entire neighborhoods, in fact, askew after a series of powerful quakes. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. This is a day of digging and prayers in southern Japan after a massive 7.0 earthquake.
And it's the second big quake to hit that area in just 2 days. At least 7 people have been killed. More than 800 are injured. The 7.0 quake hit in the middle of the night when people were sleeping. Japanese TV shows buildings that are shattered now or even collapsed. Some are on fire. The rubble in the streets make it difficult for rescue teams to get to victims. One hospital was evacuated because of fears that it would collapse. I want to show you a live map from the U.S. Geological Survey. It shows how many quakes have hit that area in just the past few days. 9 on your side's Evan Millward just spoke with a local woman who has friends in the middle of the disaster. Evan.
A huge disaster it is, Tanya. Consider this. The Japan Times tonight reports that most recent quake is the biggest, most powerful in the country since 2011. You remember that quake. It prompted a tsunami and ultimately the meltdown of Fukushima. Ann Golden sees all of those pictures we just showed you, and she says she now doesn't even recognize what she considers a second home.
It was like a homecoming.
She smiles in the pictures.
I was just super lucky.
Surrounded by friends.
You couldn't ask for nicer people in your second hometown.
Beautiful settings. Now scenes like this, not far away, make painful new memories.
Major damage and people trapped in rubble, and I can't imagine that this is so close to where I spent so much time.
Ann Golden taught in Kumamoto, Japan years ago and made lifelong friends there before going back in July.
In the middle of the night, the building was swaying just like this, and we didn't know what it was. I thought it was a major wind gust, but then when it didn't stop and I couldn't hear anything, I knew something was going on.
She awoke to a 5.3 magnitude quake, the biggest her friends said they could remember until now.
They still don't know the extent of the damage or who's missing.
Golden had contact with those friends after the first quake this week, but hadn't heard from them after the 7.0 quake until right before our interview.
It's really sobering. I mean, the one I experienced over the summer, it's just a reminder. You just never know when it might happen.
So Golden told me all of her friends expected aftershocks. That's commonplace. But one of her friends had trouble sleeping after the first quake. She was so worried. None of them expected a second quake, certainly not of that magnitude. Craig?
Certainly devastating, and I'm glad to see that they finally made contact with one another. Thanks,